In this video, I'll be comparing the Sonicare 9900 Prestige with the Oral-B Genius X, along with giving you my recommendation on which brush to choose. Hey, it's John from electricteeth here. We assist you in selecting the right dental care products and understanding common dental health care topics. Before I give you my overall recommendation and explanation as to why, I want you to know that as not or if not more important than picking one particular toothbrush is making sure that you're brushing with the correct technique, brushing twice a day, brushing for 2 minutes, and cleaning in between your teeth as well. If you perfect these things, it is likely that you're going to have a bigger and more positive impact on your oral health than picking any one particular electric toothbrush. So with that covered, which one would I choose? Well, ultimately my top pick would be the Philips Sonicare 9900 Prestige. The Prestige is my pick when you consider the all-round package on offer here. If you want the best smart electric toothbrush, then this is it. But the Genius X is the much better value option and isn't far behind the Prestige in the overall package on offer. Both brushes do an excellent job of cleaning the teeth, and both offer more than what you actually need. So with my overall verdict given there, I want to run through the key differences between these two brushes now. Now this is a fairly comprehensive list of the key differences, but I should make you aware that things can change without notice. There are different variants of these toothbrushes around the world, so I'm doing my best to give an overview of the key differences, but there may be subtle differences based on different models in different countries around the world. Now there is a full written comparison that accompanies this video linked in the description and the top right corner, which goes into a lot more detail than this video itself. But let's get into the key points and the key differences between these two units then. So the first and one of the most significant differences between these two electric toothbrushes is the cleaning action. The Sonicare has a sonic cleaning action where the bristles sweep side to side in a sweeping motion. The Oral-B has an oscillating, rotating and pulsating cleaning action. These bristles are essentially moving side to side but in a circular motion thanks to the small round brush head of Oral-B, and there's also this pulsating action which is designed to give an extra element to the cleaning action as well. Now don't worry too much about which cleaning action is better. Evidence would seem to suggest that Oral-B's oscillating, rotating and pulsating action is fractionally better, but ultimately in the real world the differences are negligible and it's better to just pick one and use it. Both are going to give you a very good clean if used correctly. So I'm now going to move on to the handle design and colours, and in the UK both of these handles are available in two colour options. The Prestige is available in champagne and midnight blue. The Genius X is available in rose gold and anthracite grey. In the US and Canada, both brushes are available in three colour options. The Prestige is available in champagne, midnight blue and pink. And the Genius X is available in black, white and orchid purple. Now on the front of the Genius X handle you have a number of icons. These icons depict the cleaning modes available on the Genius X. Each one is backlit when the relevant mode is selected. You don't have these icons on the Prestige. The Genius X has two buttons on the brush handle, one to turn the brush on and off and another to change the cleaning modes. On the Prestige it also has two buttons, one of which is to turn the brush on and off and the other is to change the cleaning mode intensity. That second button doesn't actually change the cleaning modes. Around the neck of the Genius X is a light ring that can be customized one of several different colours via the smartphone application for the Genius X. You do not have this same light ring on the Prestige. And on the Genius X also you actually have quite a large expanse of rubber grip that runs down the back of the brush handle. You'll see from the video clips that you're seeing now that the designs are quite different. The Prestige has a slightly more premium look to it. It's a matte finish kind of plastic. It's kind of got a slightly grippy coating to the matte finish. It's quite nice and premium feeling in hand, but the Genius X feels more grippy because of the large expanse of rubber grip that is on the back of the handle that you don't have on the Prestige. So both of these brush handles have multiple cleaning modes. The Genius X has 6 modes in total. You've got Daily Clean, Gum Care, Sensitive, Whitening, Pro Clean and Tongue Clean. The 9900 Prestige comes with 5 modes. Those are Clean, White Plus, Deep Clean Plus, Gum Health and Sensitive. Now, the Genius X cleaning modes can actually be changed from the brush handle itself using the cleaning mode button. With the Prestige 9900, you actually have to change the cleaning modes from the smartphone application. You can't change the modes from the brush handle itself. Now, the 9900 Prestige also has 3 brushing intensities, low, medium and high, and these can be set on any of the 5 cleaning modes. You don't have the facility to change these intensities on the Genius X. Now, another subtle difference between these two brushes is the timer and pacer and how they're configured. Both have 2-minute timers and both have pacers built in. The Genius X has a pacer configured around 30-second intervals, so you break your mouth up into 4 sections and spend 30 seconds cleaning each section or quadrant. Whereas with the Prestige 9900, you actually have a 20-second pacer. So that means that you break the mouth up into 6 sections and spend 20 seconds cleaning each of those sections. So together you still get a good even clean over the 2 minutes, just the pacing is slightly different. With both brushes, you get at least one brush head included in the box. With the 9900 Prestige, you get one A3 premium all-in-one brush head included, and that doesn't matter where you are in the world. That's the standard box contents. With the Genius X, it does vary around the world. So in the UK, it comes with 4 brush heads, and they are 4 cross-action brush heads. In the US and Canada, it comes with 3 brush heads, one of which is cross-action. You have one 3D white and one floss-action brush head. So another little difference here is the actual overall size of the brush head. The Oral-B has a small round brush head compared to the slightly larger and more ovalish shaped brush head of the Philips Sonicare. Both of these brushes have pressure sensors built into them. Now, the Genius X has a light ring at the top of the brush handle which will illuminate red when the pressure sensor is activated. On the Prestige, this is actually a purple light at the bottom of the brush handle. A subtle difference between these two is when the pressure sensor is activated on the Prestige, the brush handle will also vibrate, giving you an extra alert that you are brushing too hard. Now, both of these toothbrushes have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery built in. They're not designed to be user replaceable, and they're both advertised to give around about 2 weeks of use. In our hands-on testing based on the standard clean mode, the Genius lasts around about 16 days compared to the 4 weeks of the Prestige 9900. So the Prestige outperforms the Genius X in terms of battery life. And another subtle difference in terms of battery life, whilst both have indicator icons on the front of the brush handle to give you some feedback on the battery status. When using the Prestige with the smartphone application, you do actually get an exact percentage readout of the remaining battery power that you don't get with the Genius X. Now I want to touch on the Bluetooth technology. Now both of these are very capable smart electric toothbrushes and both have free smartphone applications that these toothbrushes can work with in real time, or they can be used offline and the data synced back at a later date. Now ultimately they both do the same job in getting insights on your brushing habits, trying to educate and inform you on what you can do better to improve your oral care routine. Now I could go into a lot of detail between the differences between these two apps, but fundamentally they do the same thing. They're just engineered slightly differently in terms of the user interface. Now I do think the Prestige and the Sonicare application is fractionally better. It's a little bit more rigid in the way it works, and I think that is better for enforcing good oral care routines. However, the Oral-B application does potentially perform better in terms of the actual overall tracking, and it allows a little bit more freedom in the way that you move your brush around the mouth and tracking that cleaning action. So there's pros and cons to both, but I would probably just edge it very slightly to the Sonicare app overall. So both of these toothbrushes do have a number of technological features built in, but something the Prestige has that the Genius X doesn't is something called BrushSync technology. So thanks to an RFID chip built into the brush head, when that is fitted to the brush handle, the handle actually tracks how long and how often the brush head is used for. And when it's time to replace that brush head, it will illuminate an icon on the brush handle in an amber color, and that is an alert to replace the brush head. Now both of these will track the brush head within the smartphone application, but the Sonicare is a little bit better equipped to give you the reminder to replace your brush head as and when you need it. Another little feature built into the Prestige is something called a scrubbing sensor. So when activated, this will actually alert you when you're moving the toothbrush too rapidly in your mouth. So it will vibrate the handle and illuminate a yellow light at the bottom of the brush handle. This is not a feature available on the Genius X. And another feature the Prestige has is something called adaptive intensity. So I mentioned how you can change the intensity settings of the cleaning modes. On the Prestige, you have 3 levels: low, medium, and high. Depending on which setting you have will depend on what the adaptive intensity can do. But if it detects that you are brushing the teeth with too much pressure, after a number of seconds, it will actually drop the intensity of that cleaning mode. So if you have the mode set to high and you're using too much pressure, it will drop it down to medium. If you continue to brush with too much pressure, it will drop it down to low. And it was all designed to help improve your oral care routine and stop you doing unnecessary damage to your teeth and gums. Now, both of these toothbrushes come with travel cases, and both of these cases allow you to charge the toothbrush in the case. But there are a few differences between these two cases. So the Genius X will actually allow you to hold a brush handle and up to 2 brush heads, where the Prestige case will only hold the brush handle and 1 brush head. As a consequence, the Prestige's case is slimmer and more compact. I actually feel the Prestige case is more stylish. It's wrapped in a vegan leather and it has a wrist strap on it as well. The Genius X case is nice and robust and it certainly feels premium, but it's not quite as good as the Prestige. It's finished in more of a soft silicone type coating. Now, the way in which the toothbrush is charged within the case is different as well. The Genius X has a proprietary travel adapter that you have to connect to the case. So that connects to the case and then to a power socket, and that will charge the toothbrush whilst in the case. Whereas the Prestige has a detachable USB Type-C cable. So that cable is provided in the box and is detachable, but because it actually has a USB Type-C connector on the case itself, you can use any USB Type-C charging cable if you like. Whereas with the Genius X, you have to use Oral-B's own charging adapter. You can't, or you don't have the facility of the likes of a USB connector for it. Now, something the Genius X case has that the Prestige doesn't is a USB port on the case. Now, this is a standard USB Type A port. It's a female port. Now, this doesn't allow you to charge the case via USB. What it actually means is you can charge other devices at the same time as you're charging your toothbrush. So for example, you connect the Oral-B proprietary adapter to the wall socket and then to the toothbrush case itself. And then from the case, you can connect a USB cable to charge your smartphone at the same time as you're charging your toothbrush, for example. It's quite clever, but the perception of the USB port on the travel case is often misunderstood. You can't charge USB devices from the case itself unless you've got the proprietary power adapter for the case attached. Now, both of these toothbrushes come with charging stands included in the box. They essentially do the same job, but the design is slightly different. It can take up to 16 hours to charge the Prestige fully on its charging stand, and it takes around about 12 hours for the Genius X. Now, the exact charging stand provided with the Genius X does differ depending on which country you are in. In the UK, you get a standard Oral-B charging stand that has a little prong on the top, which the Genius X then sits on top of, and it has a power cable hardwired into it. This is a 2-pin power cable for UK bathrooms. In the US, this charging stand is slightly different. It has a little bit more of a circular design. It still has the prong on top, which the Genius X then sits on top of, but it has a detachable power cable, and it uses the same power cable as the travel case. Now, the power adapter provided in the US supports 100 to 240 volts. With the UK charging stand, it only supports 220 to 240 volts, but you do get a 2-pin 100 to 240 volts power adapter for the travel case included. With the Prestige, you do have a USB charging stand. So this has a USB cable hardwired into the stand, and it's made up of 2 parts. You have the base plate, which is a flat little plate that the toothbrush could stand on itself, but you also get this opaque plastic puck that sits on top, and it gives a bit more frame to the charging stand, holds the toothbrush a little bit more securely, and it holds it in an upright position. A quick mention of the warranty. All of these brushes come with a 2-year warranty as standard. However, in the UK, you can extend that warranty of the Genius X for a further year, up to 3 years in total by registering the brush online. Now, the final difference between these brushes is indeed the price. Now, these prices are always subject to change and they can vary more significantly from one country to another. So these are correct at the time of recording and should give you a benchmark on the differences between them. So in the UK, the Oral-B Genius X retail price is $369.99 compared to the $299.99 of the Prestige. However, in the US and Canada, the Prestige is actually cheaper. So in the US, the Genius has a retail price at $220 compared to the $399 of the Prestige. And in Canada, the Genius X has a retail price of around $300 compared to the $499.99 of the Prestige. So you have the retail prices of the toothbrushes, and then you have the actual selling prices of the electric toothbrushes, and then you need to factor in the cost of replacement brush heads. And here at Electric Teeth, we like to price this over a 3-year period to give you an idea of what it costs per day to own one of these electric toothbrushes. So in the UK, based on the retail prices alone, the Genius X was higher. However, when you factor in these additional costs such as replacement brush heads, the Genius X comes in at 18 pence per day compared to the 29 pence of the Prestige 9900. Now, when it comes to the US, the cost of the Prestige is 39 cents per day compared to the 20 cents of the Genius X. And in Canada, the Prestige comes out at around about 50 cents per day compared to 27 cents per day for the Genius X. So there we have it. That's a run through of the key differences between the Oral-B Genius X and the Sonicare 9900 Prestige. I do hope you found this video useful. There's a full written comparison that accompanies this video linked in the description below. If you did find this video useful, please do give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, click subscribe, and for tips and tricks on how to improve your oral health care, watch this video here. Until next time, thanks for watching.